A potentially massive injury for Clemson. We're talking about it. Locked on LSU. Here we go.
You are Locked on LSU, your daily podcast on the LSU Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Okay, let's get it. It is Locked on LSU, your team every day. I'm your host, Matt Moscona. Thanks so much for making us your first listen. We are free, available wherever you get podcasts, of course, on YouTube as well. So please subscribe. As always, one of the fastest ways to help us grow is by leaving your comments below. So thank you for that. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. LSU is a little more than 2 weeks away from kickoff against Clemson. At the time we record this, as a matter of fact, it's 2 weeks and a day and a half. And there is potentially a massive injury from Clemson that could impact this game. And I want to talk about that. So I'm going to give you the details on this injury, how it could affect the game. It's actually two injuries I want to talk about. And there's a couple of listener questions that I want to get to at the end of the episode. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. Might be your question. So Dabo Swinney on Thursday met with reporters after Clemson scrimmaged. So Clemson scrimmaged back on August the 9th, which was this past weekend on Saturday. And then they scrimmaged again on Thursday, August the 14th. And on August the 9th, this past weekend on Saturday, Walker Parks was reportedly injured in the scrimmage. Now, you may be asking yourself, Matt, who's Walker Parks? I'll get to that in a second. So, Walker Parks, apparently, it was the Clemson insider first to report that Parks was injured in the scrimmage on the 9th. Multiple outlets since then, over the course of this week, have reported that Parks has been on crutches. Now, I'm not going to speculate on what the injury is. I don't know. Crutches could mean toe, foot, ankle, knee. No idea. I don't know. I'm telling you candidly, I don't know. But Walker Parks is a significant player for Clemson. Let me walk you through how significant Walker Parks is. He's a 6'5", 310-pound graduate senior. Walker Parks showed up at Clemson in 2020 in the COVID year. And as a freshman, earned freshman All-America honors. He played in 11 games for Clemson that season. Didn't start, but earned a role and became a freshman All-American. As a sophomore, remember, the COVID year didn't count for anybody's eligibility. Sophomore year, which technically was his freshman year because COVID didn't count, started all 13 games. 2022 started all 13 games. 2023 started 2 games, injured, missed the rest of the season, comes back in 2024 as a fifth-year player, starts all 14 games at right guard, and is first team All-ACC. So he went from freshman All-America back in 2020 in the COVID year to 2024 being first team All-ACC. At this point in his career, Walker Parks has played in 53 games with 42 starts. And last year was first team All-ACC. He is right now preseason All-ACC going into the 2025 season, his 6th collegiate season. All the guys that were COVID year players, this is the last of them. He is a super senior in his 6th year, similar to Jamari Butler, the defensive end from Nebraska, who came in as a freshman in the COVID year in 2020, had a redshirt year, and is another year of eligibility playing at LSU this season. So Walker Parks is in his 6th year, extremely experienced veteran player, all ACC, and has some type of busted tire, bum wheel type injury going on right now. So Dabo Swinney, after practice on Thursday, meets with reporters. The first question out the chute is about Walker Parks. Here you go.
Questions? Walker Parks, is he? Oh, he'd be all right. He'd be all right. He'd be all right. He'd be good to go. He didn't go today. We held him today, but he'd be all right. Okay.
Y'all, I'm going to play that again for you here in a second. I saw that and almost lost my mind. And play for you again. I want to remind you in context, okay? The Clemson media doesn't get the opportunity to go watch practice scrimmage. They're relying on the coach to tell them the story. And there are reports that this super senior who's played in 53 games with 42 starts got busted up on the scrimmage this past weekend, has been walking around on crutches this week. And the first question out the chute is about Walker Parks, and this is Dabo's answer.
Walker Parks, is he? Oh, he'd be all right. He'd be all right. He'd be all right. He'd be good to go. He didn't go today. We held him today, but he'd be all right. Okay.
Listen again. Dabo's first words are, he'll be all right. Listen to the report. Listen. Dabo goes, he'll be all right. The reporter repeats that, but listen.
Questions? Walker Parks, is he? Oh, he'd be all right. He'd be all right. He'd be all right.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right. That is the kind of thing that makes my skin crawl. That is the kind of thing, the ridiculous fan media that has infiltrated sports today, that makes me want to freaking vomit. I don't know who that child was standing 5 feet from Dabo Swinney that didn't have the balls to ask the follow-up question, or anybody else in the room, but shame on every freaking one of them. Are you kidding me? Let me give you a journalism school lesson. My journalism degree ain't on the wall in here. It's in my office at work. But I don't need a J school degree to know this. Dabo Swinney, you got a guy that's played in 52 games. There's reports out there that he's got a bum wheel injured, hadn't practiced, been in a boot, on crutches. You're playing a top 10. You're playing a top 10 matchup 2 weeks from Saturday. And there's 10 people sitting there in a room that have the privilege. Fans don't have the privilege. Fan can't just roll up on Dabo in a press conference and ask a question. You're relying on these people to ask Dabo Swinney the actual question. And they ask him, hey, well, play again.
Questions? Walker Parks, is he? Oh, he'd be all right. He'd be all right. He'd be all right.
He'll be all right. Like, no follow-up? Coach, what was the nature of his injury? Coach, is Walker Parks on crutches? Coach, when do you expect Walker Parks back? Coach, is Walker Parks expected to play against LSU? Coach, if Walker Parks can't play against LSU, who replaces him? Coach, how big of an impact is it on your offense if Walker Parks is injured? Like, are you kidding? None of these questions get answered. Dabo Swinney sat there with reporters for 10 minutes and nobody had the balls to ask that man that question? Why? Because his name is Dabo and he won 2 national championships? This small town media nonsense makes me want to vomit. Ask the man a question that needs to be asked. I'm all sweating here. It's 10:30 at night. I'm sitting in my house. I might wake up my child doing this. I'm yelling so much. One of the most absurd displays of incompetence from a room full of people who are credentialed media members that can't ask Dabo Swinney an actual question about a dude that is a significant player on this Clemson team that might impact the game, a top 10 matchup, and you can't sit there and ask him a follow-up question? Oh, he'll be all right. And you just repeat he'll be all right. That's it? Listen, if you know who that is, whoever that is who asked that initial question and just parroted Dabo's response and didn't have the balls to ask a follow-up, please tell me who it is so I can call them out by name. And if I don't, you better do it. On social media, on everywhere. You should demand better from reporters. Do you realize we live in a country where we call our media the fourth state? Executive, legislative, judicial. The media is known as the fourth state. Our media is expected to hold those powerful in power accountable. I'm just talking about like Watergate and the president's everywhere. That's unbelievable to me that nobody could ask that man who's named after a freaking Flintstone character. Nobody could ask that man a legitimate follow-up question about a starter who's played in 52 games. If he's actually, what is the nature of the injury? How did it happen? Can you confirm if he's on crutches? Is he going to be available for LSU? If not, who's running behind him right now? All very viable questions, and nobody can ask that man that question. Small town media, what a freaking joke. And it ain't just Clemson. It ain't just Clemson, South Carolina. It's everywhere. It's a bunch of fanboys posing as media, and it's disgusting. And that is a case in point right there. Nobody can ask that man a legitimate question. Can somebody give me Dabo's number so I can call his friggin' cell phone tomorrow and ask him questions that these dudes don't have the sack to ask him? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I got a break, and when I come back, I'm going to talk about what the potential of a Walker Parks injury would mean, because I can't talk about anything definitively because none of these dudes have the gall to actually get an answer. And if you, by the way, are a Clemson fan who found this show, God bless you. You don't need to be mad at me. You need to be mad at those jokers in the room, and not just the guy who wouldn't ask the follow-up. Everybody else who's credentialed to stand in that room who would not ask Dabo Swinney the most obvious question available. It's unbelievable. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the jokers in that room who have credentials hanging around their neck, who are just so fired up that they get to watch the most exciting 23.6 seconds in the world as they run down the hit. Whatever. I don't touch it, Howard. I don't care. Whatever that is. Stupid. Do your job and ask a question. It's Locked on LSU. Now I have to talk about Wayfair, which I actually really do love. I do love Wayfair. Not even going to lie to you. It's not a joke. It's not feigned. I mean, I'm sitting in a chair. I bought a Wayfair. The desk, I bought a Wayfair. The rug back behind me right here. The rug, which really ties the room together, bought at Wayfair. You come into my house, our outdoor kitchen out there, the bar stools we bought at Wayfair. The great thing, many great things about Wayfair is even if I go out there, I'm not handy at all. I don't have a handy bone in my body, y'all. Wayfair lets you pay a fee, and they'll find someone to put your stuff together for you. So we paid a fee, had someone come to our house and put those bar stools together outside because I'd still be trying to figure it out right now. It's Wayfair. You got to figure it out, y'all. Wayfair is awesome if you haven't been there. Summer winds down. Now I'll go to the script. As summer winds down, there's something nice about getting back into a routine you love, and Wayfair makes it easy to set yourself up for the season ahead. From bedding to linens and storage solutions for every room, Wayfair is your one-stop shop to refresh your home. So get organized, refreshed, and back to routine for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair.com. WAYFAIR. Wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Okay, so since none of those people who had the right to be credentialed and stand 5 feet from Dabo Swinney and ask him a question had the gumption, the courage to ask a football coach a question, because he's a football coach, right? Let's all bow down. Let's curtsy. Let's genuflect at the purple and orange altar because a man named Dabo has raised the golden waffle cone multiple times. So we can't ask him a real question because he's a football coach. Because none of them had the gumption to ask a question, a legitimate question. I'll just speculate now. So Walker Parks, really significant player, by the way. I just went through it. He showed up at Clemson in 2020. He's played in 53 games with 42 starts. He was first team All ACC a year ago. He's preseason All ACC this year, and he plays right guard. I would like to remind you that if you have been following, if you're an everydayer, shout out, if you have been following our practice reports throughout the course of this fall camp for LSU, I have told you that there is one defensive lineman in particular that has done exceptionally well, that has been a general pain in the neck for LSU offensive linemen to block. And he is Bernard Gooden. Bernard Gooden, the South Florida transfer, who is 6'1", 268, not a particularly big guy. He met with reporters earlier this week. He said, when asked about his size, look at Aaron Donald. Not saying he's Aaron Donald, just proving that the fact that when you have a smaller dude that's super friggin' strong and knows how to leverage his weight and his strength, he can be really impactful. That's Bernard Gooden. Again, don't clip this and say Scone saying Bernard Gooden's Aaron Donald. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Bernard Gooden's Aaron Donald. I'm saying he said that's the model, the prototype, the guy you try to model after. Dude that's low to the ground, leverage, super strong. And that is Bernard Gooden. By the way, Josh Thompson, who's LSU's right guard, who's been a 2-year starter in the Big Ten at both guard and tackle and is a very good football player, had a PFF rating in the 70s across the board, super talented guy, has had a bear of a time trying to figure out Bernard Gooden. Blake Baker on Monday met with reporters. He was asked about Bernard Gooden. You know what Blake Baker's response was? We played it for you earlier this week. If you're an everydayer, you heard it. Blake Baker said, the great thing about Bernard Gooden is his quickness, the fact that he gets his second foot in the ground before the offensive lineman has his first foot in the ground. Okay, now let's play this forward. You know where I'm going. All right. If Bernard Gooden, I'm not saying Gooden's going to play 70 snaps or 50 snaps. Maybe it's 30 snaps. I don't know. You got Bernard Gooden. You got Jacobian Guillory. You've got a former 5-star offensive lineman or defensive lineman, Dominic McKinley. You got Ahmad Bro, who played a ton for you a year ago. You got a great rotation. But what we've seen so far in this fall camp is Bernard Gooden at the left defensive tackle spot lined up over the right guard, which in this situation would be Walker Parks. And I got Blake Baker, who's, we could agree, a pretty smart defensive coordinator, telling us that the reason Bernard Gooden, despite his size, is so effective is the fact that he is so quick off the ball, his second foot is in the ground before the offensive lineman gets his first foot in the ground. Now, you're going to tell me Walker Parks, even if he's able to go, is going to be in any way limited? I don't know to what degree. I wish I did know to what degree, but no one at Clemson apparently wants to ask Dabo Swinney a legitimate question. But if he's slowed in any way, I don't care how experienced that dude is. You could tape him up. You could shoot him up. You could send him out there. He can't feel his foot. And then you're going to put Bernard Gooden on him. Good luck. What's that dude saying? What's that movie with the Liam Neeson? I have a set of take it. I have a set of skills. Good luck. That's what I would say to you. That's what I would say to you. Good luck. Now, the dude who said good luck, it didn't go so great for him, quite honestly, because Liam Neeson, I mean, he found him and got his daughter back, and that was a really bad thing for the dude who said good luck and all that stuff. But in this situation, I'm just telling you, if you're Walker Parks and you got a bum wheel and you're trying to figure out Bernard Gooden, that's a problem, because I've watched with my own 2 eyes that dude go off on a veteran offensive lineman who was a 2-year starter at a Big Ten school this past year, who did not allow a sack the last 2 years. Didn't allow a sack the last 2 years. And Bernard Gooden keeps getting off against him, and you're going to do it with a bum wheel? Good luck. But then again, maybe Walker Parks is awesome. I just don't know, because none of them dudes who had the God-given privilege to ask Dabo Swinney a question would actually ask him a question. Now, I'm hot about that, y'all. You obviously can tell. There's one other person that's certainly worth mentioning. It's Adam Randall. So Adam Randall this week at Clemson practice has been in a yellow no-contact jersey. Adam Randall is 6'2", 235. He's out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. During his time at Clemson, he has been a receiver. In 3 years at Clemson, he has played in 37 games. He started 7 times. He has 48 catches for 533 yards and 2 touchdowns. Remember, Clemson is losing Phil Maffa. Phil Maffa was the guy who ran for 1,100 yards a year ago on the Clemson team that went to the playoff. Well, Phil Maffa's gone. They need a running back. So Adam Randall has moved from receiver to running back. This is his first time playing running back in college. Well, he also has been injured. Now, Dabo did not disclose the nature or severity of that injury. And clearly, none of the people there who were cloaked in orange and purple had the gumption to ask Dabo Swinney a question about that guy and what the nature of his injury was. But he's been practicing in a no-contact jersey, so we'll see to what degree he might be effective against LSU. All I'm going to say, y'all, is this. LSU's defense got loaded up with talent. They went in the transfer portal, and they went and signed a bunch of one-year dudes that are third, fourth, fifth-year college players. Dudes that are 21, 22 years old who have played in 20, 30, 40, 50 collegiate games, and dudes that are here for 2 reasons, to make money and to win a championship. And all I know is this, man. You're going to tell me you got one of your best offensive linemen with a bum wheel, and you got your top running back who is battling an injury as well. I understand you got Howard's Rock and you got all that stuff and all that excitement that's going to happen in this game at Memorial Stadium. And y'all, I've told you a million times, I think Clemson wins the game. It's a huge ask for LSU to go on the road, a true road game with so many new pieces and find a way to win this game. But I'm just here to tell you, those are 2 really significant players for that Clemson offense. And if the LSU offense does what I think they're going to do, Clemson offensively better have all hands on deck. And if they don't, it's going to be a real challenge. I guess we'll have to wait and see on August 30th, because apparently no one at Clemson who covers that team is going to ask Dabo Swinney a legitimate question before that game. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. So take a flyer on Joey B to win the MVP. Already got him. Crown your champ in August, going with the Bengals. Or parlay your division winner. Dark horses probably wouldn't do that, but do it if you feel up to it. Visit the FanDuel. I'm all about value. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. All right. Before we get out of here, had a really good question on my show text line. You can always text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Gentleman named Hank sent me a text. Said, Matt, a couple of questions. Good questions, by the way. Maybe we should credential Hank. He said, when you're able to watch 11 on 11, that's not situational. What kind of tempo is the offense going with? Well, good question, Hank. First of all, most of the 11 on 11 we watch is situational. It's 11 on 11 at the goal line, like we've talked about before, where it's 3rd and goal from the 8 and the offense gets 2 plays. Or, it's a 11 on 11, but they're running exclusively 2nd and 10 plays, for example. So the offense starts at their own 20 and it's 2nd and 10. Regardless of the result of the play, they move to the 30, it's 2nd and 10 again. Regardless of the result, they move to the 40, 2nd and 10 again, you get it. When we have seen them run like at the last period of practice, a period that's just start at the 35 and run a series. They're running no huddle, but it's not hurry up no huddle. It's just the normal pace of an offense. Second question is, can't help but wonder which running back is picking up the blocking assignments the best. Given the offensive line hasn't had the time together, I think this is a facet of the running back position that can be overlooked. Trying to protect us. Great question, Hank. Thank you for the question. Remember, one of the reasons, maybe the primary reason, that Josh Williams came to LSU as a walk-on in 2019 as a part of that national championship team and stuck around for as long as he did is the fact that he was a great blocker. If you go back to the Alabama game, we've talked about it a ton, but the 2022 Alabama game when Jaden Daniels scored the touchdown to tie the game, if you look at, just watch that play, go to YouTube, you'll find it. Just watch Josh Williams. He's like Superman. He's like parallel to the ground, airborne block to spring Jaden Daniels for the score. He was awesome. Well, Josh Williams gone. Caden Durham, he wasn't blocking nobody in high school. Not a knock that he couldn't. It's just when you're Caden Durham and you splash onto the scene in the SEC as a freshman, ain't nobody in Texas high school tackling you. Same for Caleb Jackson when he was at Liberty Magnet in Baton Rouge. So all these dudes have to grow and develop. It's a very good question, and I don't have a great answer for you. I guess we'll all find out together on the 30th, just like we'll find out if Walker Parks is going to play in the game or the severity of his injury. All right, that'll do it for us here on today's episode of Locked on LSU. Thanks for making us your first listen. For your second listen, check out the Portal Show. Brian Smith has the latest rumors, portal entries, and signings. Be the most informed fan on the rapid changes of college football. Find the Portal on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hey, if you are listening to the Locked on LSU on podcast, please subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Rate us, leave a review. If you're on YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you're notified whenever we post a new video. Tigers are back on the practice field on Friday. We will have a practice report on for you as soon as that practice goes final. Let a friend know if they love the Tigers. We got you here every single day for Locked on LSU. It's your team every day.